Good evening and welcome to the Jon Gaunt podcast. Tonight's question is simple, but I think explosive. Should the UK ban the burqa in public places? Reform UK's newest MP, Sarah Pochin, asked Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, that very question at Prime Minister's Questions today. He stumbled, he was flustered, he said 11 times, and effectively refused to answer, which is a disgrace in itself. Why is the Prime Minister dodging such a direct challenge? What's his problem with talking about the burqa? Is this about human rights or political cowardice, or about the Labour Party trying to keep the Muslim vote? I am Jon Gaunt, and you're watching a live show that's going to pull no punches. We're talking free speech, religious freedom, women's rights, and what kind of country we want Britain to be. This isn't just politics, it's culture, values, identity, and the best thing is you get to have your say too. Welcome to my world. Good to have you all on board. If you want to join in, put a comment at the bottom of the screen. If you're listening on a podcast, don't worry, you can still comment afterwards, but please share and hit the like button as well. We'll come to your calls and your views in a couple of moments. But I don't know if you've seen the clip of what happened. Oh, we're going to talk about Rachel Reeves as well. She could bore for England, couldn't she? How is she the Chancellor of the Exchequer? And I say that guy standing next to her, who just basically kept rolling his eyes and shuffling his feet, he's a national hero. I would imagine the tabloids are tracking him down at this moment. And he's going to be, as I say, an absolute national hero because he summed up what we all think about this lousy Labour government, didn't he? Bored out of his skull. So come on then, let's get on to banning the burqa. The thing that I found amazing today, I didn't realise how many countries had already banned it. The Netherlands, I think, was the latest. But before that, Spain or large parts of Spain have banned it. France, of course, have banned it. The list goes on and on and on. So this isn't about human rights. This isn't about anti-Muslim prejudice. It's, as Sarah said today in the Commons, mostly about security. But this is what she's put up on her Twitter today. Given the Prime Minister's desire, this was the question, to strengthen strategic alignment with our European neighbours, stitch up coming in, will he, in the interests of public safety, follow the lead of France, Denmark, Belgium, Italy, and others and ban the burqa? Perfectly reasonable question. Now, when she said that, he stumbled, he was flustered. The whole of the Commons went silent. You couldn't hear a pin drop. You could hear his arse cheeks clack because, again, he didn't know how to answer. He hadn't put this question to one of his focus groups. He hadn't got his right-hand man who writes those silly videos for him to tell him what to say. He isn't a leader because he can't think on his feet. And he's a typical lawyer. He'll never give you one answer when 15 would suffice. So he stumbled, he's hard and he ummed, and he basically said, diverted by asking a question about Farage. Now, this isn't unusual. For weeks and weeks at Prime Minister's Questions, all we've had is questions. The idea is he's meant to answer to the House. The truth is he doesn't. Why? Because, well, we know why, because he's a Billy bullshitter. He's a liar. So he can never remember which lie he did last time. Do you remember when your mum said that? Tell one lie and you'll end up lying forever. Well, she was right. And that's the problem with Starmer. And, of course, the big panic that would have been going through his wooden top brain would have been, if I say the wrong thing here, I'm going to have all the Muslims against me. Well, is he? Isn't that racist or religionist to think all Muslims think the same? The majority of Muslim women in this country don't wear the hijab or the full burqa, don't they? I know it's been more recently, And it's a Saudi invention. It's got sweet FA to do with the Prophet Muhammad or the Quran. It's a nonsense. And also, I'll go further. I believe it's a tool of oppression. I know women say, oh, yeah, I like it. No, they don't. I remember when I was in Dubai and there was a woman eating and she had the old mufti up to here and she was having to lift the veil to eat. I was disgusted then. And then I was in Earlsdon in Coventry in a Turkish restaurant 2 or 3 weeks ago. And there was a woman there. It was a hot day. There she is, all in black with the veil on as well, with a guy, probably a bit younger than me. He's in the old shorts. He's got the George Michael look about him. He's in the kebab shop. It's a sort of it's a Turkish sit-down restaurant. Very nice. He's eating whatever he wants. Looked like he was having a drink as well. And she's having to lift the veil to eat. If that isn't oppression, if that isn't misogyny, I don't know what it is. And I'll tell you something. It sickened me to the pit of my stomach as if I'd eaten a dodgy kebab in a dodgy place the night before. There's no place for the burqa. Now, Sarah says, of course, it's about security. And I think she's right. You cannot walk, I know it's a cliche, but you cannot walk into a bank with a motorcycle helmet on. You can't walk in with a balaclava. They will escort you out straight away. Well, why can you walk in dressed in a full burqa with the bit round your face as well? We don't know who's in there. And I'm sorry, but the biggest terrorist threat we face at the moment, these people identify as Muslim and as radical Islamists. So they would be wearing the full kit. So I'm sorry, we should just ban it. If liberal democracies like Denmark can ban it, Norway can ban it, Spain, Switzerland have even banned it. Why have we not done it already? And why was there such cowardice on display in the Commons today? Not just Starmer. Oh, what's a question? I don't know how to answer this question. Oh. The whole of the Commons went quiet. And this is why Reform UK are going to do well. Because they ask the questions and dare to say the unsayable. The two main parties, forget about the Liberal Democrats, he's an irrelevance, but the two main parties just talk about the same things. And it's a bit of this and a bit of banter and a bit of the other. He never answers any questions. Kemi gets a bit upset, although I thought she was good today. However, Reform have come in and they've decided to drop some truth bombs. And even if you don't support Reform, you've got to say that's got to be good for politics. So let me just sum up what happened. In a very tense moment during Prime Minister's questions, the new Reform MP, Sarah Pochin, asked Keir Starmer whether the UK should ban the burqa in public places. I actually cheered as I watched this, I tell you. Just like France have done and Australia, Austria, there's another one who's done it. They already have done this. Starmer didn't answer. Why? Was it political caution or cowardice or something much deeper? We're going to break down what happened and what this could mean for the UK. I'll tell you what it really means. We're heading towards political and religious apartheid. And that scares the bottom out of me, and it should scare you too. Labour, including Jess Phillips, which is why we haven't had the proper investigation into the grooming gangs up north. She nearly got beaten. I think she won by 500 votes to somebody who was a pro-Palestine and very much, Muslim, pro-Muslim, who organised those people to vote for him. It happened all over the country and it's going to get worse. Well, I'm sorry. I don't want to live in a society where people vote on their religious beliefs. In fact, I want to live in a more secular society. However, we are a Christian society. Muslims have come here to live. Here we go. It's the classic Gaunty line. Fit in or ship out. I've had enough of this. If you think I'm wrong, please tell me now. But I say ban the burqa. And talking of burqas and burks, we'll talk about Rachel Reeves in a moment. Let's go to your comments. Evening, John, says Dark Angel. Evening to you, my friend. Rob says on YouTube, says the burqa should be banned. It wasn't a hard question for the Prime Minister to answer rather than deflect. That is the problem with Starmer. He can't have his own opinion without flip-flopping to appease others. You're absolutely right. And that's why he's so unpopular. You have to have the courage of your convictions. Dare I say it, like Nigel Farage. That is why he's so popular at the moment. Denise Deacon says not only should we ban the burqa, we should ban all face coverings in public. I'm glad you brought that up, actually, Denise, because that's what they did in Austria, Denmark and Spain and places. They made it a complete ban on face coverings in public. And that's what we should do. Then no one can cry out, it's religion, it's racist, it's racist, it's racist. Although it'd be muffled, wouldn't it be? It's racist, it's racist, it's racist. Anyway, I say ban the lot. I'm with you. These yobbos who are going around on their motorized bicycles, some of them delivering their crap cold food, wear those scarves as well, don't they? Or they wear the masks or the helmets. And then we've got the muggers and we've got the people who nick your telephone on those bikes. Their faces are always covered. We're living in dangerous times. I say no face coverings in public. There's obvious exceptions when it's blooming really cold and the rest of it. But in general, you shouldn't have a face covering. If you agree with me, please tell me. Denise, thank you for bringing that up and reminding me to put that in there. Chris Winkle on YouTube says, I agree with the ban. Richard Tapkin on Facebook says, skirted the question again. Yes, he did. But every time Keir Starmer does this, his popularity will go down. People are fed up of professional politicians. They want truth and honesty. It's like I keep saying, like today they said about the winter fuel allowance. Oh, yeah. We're going to reverse it. Again, they said. And today they let us know a bit more. It's probably going to be announced next week. It's just drip, drip, drip. But they also made a snidey class war comment, which is, but millionaires aren't going to get it. So they're going to means test it. Now, you see, if you've got a good memory, you will recall that Keir Starmer said we couldn't means test it. It would be too expensive. Now that he's in a hole, he's decided he's going to take it off certain people. I'm not going to go to the barricades over that, but I'm just showing you another example of his stinking hypocrisy. Not only his stinking hypocrisy, but about the fact that he doesn't think things through. He hasn't got a sense of being a leader. I had a journalist, I think I know him, I couldn't quite remember. He said he worked at the Sun and the Star or whatever. And he said, I don't think this is the most important thing to talk about tonight. I nearly said, well, F off and get your own podcast and you decide the agenda. But I actually got into a bit of dialogue with him. It might not seem on the surface the most important thing. And compared to the grooming gangs, it isn't. But you can't talk about that every night. And you can't talk about Starmer's incompetence every night. But this story, and indeed Rachel Reeves and that appalling speech she made this morning, all feeds into the general idea that this ship, I said ship, has got no captain guiding it. That this journey that we're on, that none of us want to be on, and none of us were told what the destination was, which is out and out incompetent communism. I wouldn't mind if it was out and out communism, but it's not. It's incompetent. It's sixth form communism. Anybody with money is horrible. And most of the people who yell that, when you used to go to these meetings, when I was at university, most of the socialist workers, most of them would have all gone to public school. It's all like, Keir, I'm the son of a toolmaker. He forgets to say the bit, well, my dad actually owned the factory. Yeah, so it's kind of, that's why this story is important. And he's the one who said we were living on an island of strangers. Well, what's the best way to bring that together? To see each other's faces. We don't just speak with our voice, we speak with our face, with our hands, with our actions. How can you do that if you look like a Dalek and we can't see your facial expressions? I mean, this woman here looks quite pretty, doesn't she? But you can't see the rest of her. She might have a beard under that burqa. I wrote about this in The Sun. Oh, a good few years ago. We had a more or less a full-page picture, less words, a full-page picture of a woman in a burqa. It was the best read column and the most sales for The Sun for that day in months. It was so good that the next week the editor said, write something similar and we're going to use the same picture. I never chose the picture. They're picture editors for that. I didn't mind because it hit a nerve. And I've heard people today saying, why did she bring... Oh, I'll tell you what, Dan Hodges, just to let you know who he is. He's Glenda Jackson's son, right? Another boy with a canteen of silver cutlery in his gob, right? Born with a few advantages in life. Mum was a superb actress. He's a Burke. He writes to the Daily Mail. But his thing is, oh, she wasted her first question asking about burkas. As if that would be important to the people that she represents. Well, Dan, wake up, get out of North London, get out of Islington, put down your skinny latte, you twit, and go and have a look at ordinary people. People are very worked up about it. You might think in your superior way it doesn't matter. It does to ordinary people, but you wouldn't know an ordinary person if they mugged you. Because you know what, Dan? You're the same as Starmer. And I'd hate that. I'd hate being that. I always remember Chris Evans. I've told you this before. He said, I don't mind upper class people and the aristocracy. They're all right. You know where they're coming from, he said. And the working class, of course, which he was from. The ones I don't like, he said, are the middle classes, the Mirandas and the Jeremys. They all want to be in the media, but they don't actually want to work hard. He's right. I hate these people. Kevin Rowland in Dexys said, you know, these kind of people with their home bars and Wi-Fi. That's what she like. That song. The lyrics in that are brilliant, and they sum up the middle classes. I hate them. I despise them. People say, well, aren't you middle class now? No, I was earning a middle class salary at one point, but my attitudes, I can assure you, are unreconstructed working class. Let's have a burqa day. Everyone should wear one. There'd be total mayhem, says Maggie Young on Facebook. I like you, Maggie. You're mischievous. That's good stuff. Evening, John. The bonkers thing is the same people will get their skinny lattes in a twist about banning the burqa are the very same people who join a pride march or campaign for more women's rights. You are absolutely correct, Chopper Mark 50. Have you seen these ones like Greta Thunberg? I don't know whether she's actually said this, but she's on the way to Palestine, isn't she? Yeah. She's on the front of a boat today. She's going all ecologically to get there. But these ones who say gays or queers for Palestine, I think, yeah, that'd be great. Are you going to still be saying that when you're on the top of a tower block and Hamas are going to push you off? Maybe you are going to be. Pat Bond, I can't tell if that's a woman or a man in the picture, says Jon Gaunt, very boring. Obviously not boring enough because you're watching, you div. But thank you very much indeed for your comments. The burqa doesn't fit in with this country as it's out of place. It's like wearing a bikini in Saudi Arabia, says Dark Angel. Well, I tell you what, I've been to Dubai. I've not been to Saudi, but I've been to Dubai. And there you see the men, as I said before, like that bloke in the Turkish restaurant in Coventry in Earlston High Street. He's there in all the George Michael white shorts and white shirts. And their wives are going in the sea paddling in a burqa. It's inequality in one picture. We're near that big building. What's it called? The Biage or whatever it's called, the tallest building in the world or whatever it is. And this is without a word of a lie. I know it's now on some postcards, but it actually happened. I was watching it. He had 4 or 5 women with him. I don't know if they were his wives, his daughters, his sisters. And he was arranging them for this photo. They all had the full kit on. You wouldn't have known which was which. Nonsense. Medieval nonsense. Nothing to do with being a Muslim. Nothing at all to do with it. Added on by Saudi after. That's what's gone on there. And I believe it does oppress women. And then it also gives them this superior attitude. Oh, yeah, we're being modest. And, you know, what is this? Are they basically saying that men can't control themselves? That all men are rapists, especially us men who aren't Muslims, because, of course, they've got their wives covered up. That's just rubbish. And we should say we're not putting up with this nonsense in a democracy. We believe in equal rights, shouldn't we? Spineless, nearly said a bad word there. Spineless Starmer will never do that. How would you know? Could you tell if it was a woman? Laugh out loud, says Vita Goodman. I think you move your hands down and pray to your God, whoever your God is, as Dave Allen would say. I want a total ban on the burqa, says Jonathan Hanson. Also, yeah, when did we start spelling it? B-U-R-Q-U-A. I had to look that up today. We used to just spell it B-U-R-K-A. It's a bit like Kiev, isn't it? When did we start calling it Kiev? What's all that about? When do you want me to talk about Rachel? Do you want me to talk to her about... I'll talk about her in a moment. Ban the people inside the burqa too, says Fuchs Taylor. No swearing, and no, I don't agree with that. Got no problems with Muslims. They want to live amongst us and be with us. What's wrong with that? Nothing, no problem at all. Don't press your religion on me, though. Fraser Ford just says, hey, I don't really know what that means. What we got then? They shunned her for the question. They did, the rest of the MPs. Thank you very much indeed. I was surprised about what Mr. Rupert Lowe wrote, says Graham Fletcher. Graham, is this meant to be some sort of test of Gaunt? I don't know what the hell you're on about. Why don't you say what he said, then I can comment? Huh? I don't know. YouTube, Paul Stentford. Ban the burqa was the only question worth asking. Yet again, two-tier Starmer didn't answer. He just put another nail in his political coffin, as far as I'm concerned today. He doesn't answer any questions, though, at Prime Minister's questions. And today, the Speaker was getting a bit annoyed because people got really rowdy at one point. And he said, listen, I need silence. You need to listen to what people are answering, even if they're not answering the question being asked. He had a go at Starmer, which I'll give to him because he's normally as biased as hell. But personally, I think Starmer now is overstepping the mark. He now thinks he is the supreme leader. He thinks he's Kim Rongan. Yeah? I just think it's outrageous what he's getting away with. And they're no good. So if you like what I'm doing, please feel free to press the like button, please. Do that for me. It helps with the algorithm. Please tell all your friends. After the show today, tweet out the replay video of this to other people, because the more times it gets shown, the better for everyone, especially me. Also, if you'd like to donate some cash, dead simple to do. You go to a thing called www.buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. I've got it on the bottom of the screen now, and it's $5 a coffee. So, whatever you want to donate, it would all help. We are getting advertising, but it's a trickle. Also, as well, if you want to do it in YouTube, you can buy a super chat or a super sticker. You just press the heart down here. There's a little heart. Oh, look at my hand. It'll be force field on. Little heart down there. Click that, and away we go. So that's what you need to do if you really support and really like what I'm doing. This is real free speech. No one tells me what to say. Mick Frinton on C says PC Sharon Brzezinski. That's how you say your name. I remember when she got killed. Was murdered by an asylum seeker, Mustav Jama. He escaped through Heathrow wearing a niqab, using his sister's passport. We must ban it now. Mick, I'd forgotten about that. Not about the case, but I'd forgotten that's how he got away. You are correct, my friend. Another reason why we should ban it. So, there's misogyny. There's women being treated as second-class citizens. These are just some of the reasons. It just doesn't fit in with our culture. Why do people want to come here and change our culture? Why do people want to come here and not learn the language, the customs, the culture? Did you see those protesters the other day upsetting the King's Guards and their horses? I'd have horsewhipped those people. I'd have whipped them every metre or every foot down the mall. What makes these people think they can do that in our country? Well, I'll tell you why. Uber twats like him. Everything goes. Like Tony Blair, everything, there's all kinds of families. Everything goes. Oh, it's all lovely. Put your rainbow laces in your boots, policeman, please. Police officers, sorry. As part of the police service. And go skateboarding with the Do Stop Oil Brigade. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's like low-level crime we were talking about earlier in the week, shoplifting and the rest of it, and vandalism. You need to crack down on that because it makes our built environment terrible and it turns us all into animals. Hi, John. Ban the burqa and ban all balaclavas. Same for protesters, etc. I totally agree. Yeah, you should not be able to go on a protest. These Palestinians who go on with the scarves around their faces. No, that should be stopped immediately. It's like when you're anonymous on X or Twitter. Why don't you use your real name? I use my real name. If you don't like what I say, you can have a go at me. It's not really fair to do a drive-by shooting type of thing, is it? Call me a fat and then block me so I can't even come back at you. I just think it's ridiculous. Alan says ban all coverings. He's on Facebook. Sergio is on Facebook and he says ban it as well. And then Vanya, Uncle Vanya. Nice to have you on board. Is it Vanya or Vanya? Forbes on YouTube says he's a coward. You are correct. He is an absolute coward. And then he's surrounded by these idiots. Did you see the performing idiot next to him today? Lammy, in between eating £7,000 worth of Jaffa cakes, he turned up in Parliament today to laugh at his boss's lame jokes. They're all a disgrace. Rachel Reeves, she was still up in Manchester. Probably trains were delayed or something, I don't know. But she gave that speech this morning in a bus factory, and it was the most tedious thing ever. I did watch it with an open mind. I think it's great that North is getting some money, but let's be honest, that money has come from Andy Burnham. She may as well got him to do the speech. And also, have you noticed, she says 4 words, stops. 4 words, stops. And when she's trying to, when you do a speech and you build up to the big ending, she goes, and I'll tell you what. I will tell you. You do it in 3 or 4 different ways. I think that's my thespian training. She does none of that. She just reads it all like that. And the poor blokes who were standing behind her were bored, absolutely bored out of their schools. And I've put a little video up today of one of the guys I believe is a national hero. I believe he should get a panto because he was so funny. So funny. The way he was so bored with her. A bit like that other woman, remember, a nurse, I think she was. She picked her nose during a speech by Starmer. But Rachel, who started this idea of politicians standing in front of the public? Is it meant to make them look big and beefy and in charge? It just makes them look pathetic. What's this we got here? £5. Stevie, Gaunty, the man, the myth. Oh, I've got to press the button, haven't I? Gaunty. Hang on. Why isn't that coming up on the screen? That's no good then, is it? Anyway, Steve has just donated £5, and I don't know why it's not coming up on the screen. I do apologise. On YouTube, he says, Gaunty, the man, the myth, the legend. We love you. Keep going. We were there to the end. We will be there to the end, I think is what he's saying. Thank you, Steve. That's very kind of you indeed. If you want to donate, just do what he did. He just paid a £5 for a super chat and gets his name on. Well, he didn't get it on the screen, so I apologise for that. The word is Reeves didn't even know when he announced it. So there's no plan. Maybe deliberate. She's definitely gone after the next budget. Oh, you mean when he said he was going to give back the winter fuel allowance? Oh, that was obvious, yeah. That was about the only spontaneous thing he's ever said, Craig McKenzie, on Facebook. But he's obviously dropped them all in the brown stuff, hasn't he? That's what I'm saying. It's funny, but it's dangerous. He's in charge of the country. It's like having Frank Spencer in charge of the country, isn't it? No wonder people agreed with Rupert Lowe yesterday when he started talking about deporting all of the people who've been getting into the country. I noticed there were no questions about that today. No more announcements on how he's getting tough on the boats. Has he smashed his avocado? Huh? I think the only thing he's good at is bashing his... Anyway, if someone enters the ladies' loos in a burqa, how do I know they are female? Says Jackie Ward on Facebook. Ban it now. Their problem isn't the outfit, it's the illegals underneath them, says Craig. Well, you wouldn't know if they're illegal or not, would you? That's the whole problem. You don't know who's in that burqa. You just don't know. It's just ludicrous. John Godley, with you all the way, John. No face masks for everyone. Yeah, well, that's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. That is the way to do it. The Commons is really just pure theatre, says Craig. And Lindsay Air Miles, high oil. Yeah, he loves his freebie holidays, doesn't he? He's been on more holidays than Judith Chalmers. There's one for the oldies. Would act on non-answers when an MP called out. Absolute panto. Yeah, he should be saying, why are you not on top of this? Why are you not answering the question, Mr. Starmer, Prime Minister Starmer? He's been doing it for weeks. And usually he uses Farage as his sounding board, his sort of punchback, doesn't it? I don't understand this one. Liam Bream on YouTube says, can I get a double bacon cheese burka, please? Then he's put another one, ban. Matron, have you not been round with the medication tonight? We've got all kinds of problems here. I agree with you, John. Wearing the burqa is showing some sort of superiority. Yeah, I did say that earlier, and I mean it. It's like we've got a better religion than you. Well, we ain't got a religion. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in any God. I think you're all nutcases. Not just Muslims, anybody who's that mad on religion. But hey, it's a democracy. On you go. Do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do. I hope you'll be happy. Dark Angel, that's a bit controversial. She says it's a sexist ideology. Thank you very much indeed. Village 74 on Villagaz, 74 says, hi, John, the burqa is just two ups. It's just a twos up to British values. I think he means one of those. We are in big trouble. I don't know whether it's as worrying as that, but I do take on board what you're saying. Here's Steve now with his fiver. I must just flash up then when you donate. Sorry about that, Steve. I should have come and found your comment. That's what he said. Look, Gaunty, the man, the myth, the legend. We love you. Keep going. We will be there in the end. Thank you, my friend, and thank you for your very generous donation. Anybody want to join Steve or beat him? Yes, it's time. Ban the mosque. Ban ninjas and ban halal. Ban learning anything and everything about Islam in a Christian country. No, I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. I think people can practice their religion. Just don't force it down our throats. It's a bit like being a lesbian, gay, bisexual, or even a transsexual. Have your day. I don't understand why it's now suddenly a month. What is it? Are you trying to convert us all? Huh? Just lay off. Just do what you want to do. And when's white heterosexual fat bloke day? Huh? I want to lead that one. The burqa is a security risk and the person's identity cannot be verified until they commit a crime. God is love and light. That was him saying that. Here we go. Rob Wright. Now, he's a mate of mine, this guy. If it's the same Rob Wright, he's a mate of mine. But let me just tell you something. Last 3 Fridays, he said, let's go out for a beer. And then just before it, he cancels. He did it again today. So my only answer was, okay. I was peed off, Rob. I'm going to tell you now and humiliate you in front of everyone. Banged out of order. And then when I found out what he's doing, he's going to a party in the back room of the pub I go in. So why can't you do both? Anyway, his comment is, John, we live in times when there's fear of those that are different to us. However, a smile is the same in any language. Get rid of your burqa and show us your smile. Now, actually, Rob, you've just got back in my good books there, because that's a very good comment. Because we talk with our faces, we talk with our hands, we talk with our eyebrows going up and down, don't we? That's what it's about. That guy today at the Rachel Reeves speech, he could have basically done a whole Shakespeare sonnet, even longer maybe, about what a Burke she was. But all it needed him to do was this. Right? We knew what he was saying. He was saying, what a div. And then I've looked around the rest of that audience, right? Loads of people were going, what? Right? They were. To the minister, to Rachel Reeves. She couldn't see it. She wouldn't understand. And then she's speaking in that clip tone. And it's not her fault. She's got a bit of a speech impediment as well, hasn't she? She just came over appallingly. Couldn't she get her tonsils tickled, just like Keir Starmer did with his voice coach? Do you remember the voice coach in COVID on Christmas Eve? Couldn't she get him around? Sorry. She used to be married to the guy out of Confessions of a Window Cleaner. Now, if you've not been watching or listening to me for long, you won't be getting these references, which is why you've got to listen all the time, which is why you should subscribe to my TV channel, Jon Gaunt TV on YouTube. It costs nothing to subscribe, and then you always know when I'm doing a show. You can then also see all the podcasts, see all the broadcasts, all the videos, and you can watch them again if you're having trouble sleeping. Okay, there we are. We are on the cusp of a cultural and political phenomenon. Phenomenal. Who's used to that? Phenomenal. Anyway, Guy in the Rachel Reeves video needs to get him around the country behind every politician being interviewed and let him be there rolling his eyes. Absolutely. I agree with you. I was saying to my mother-in-law, we were watching it together. She'd just got up and she said, "What's this?" I said, "It's the news." She said, oh, that's that woman. That's what she said, who fiddled her CV. She doesn't understand most things. I said, "Yeah, it is. It is." And she goes, "God, she's boring, isn't she?" And when I pointed out the lad to her, she thought it was really entertaining because it was. Well, it still went on too long. But, oh, God, are these the people who are leading us? Lammy, Foreign Secretary, in between stuffing his fat face with Jaffa cakes. He's in charge of negotiations for peace. Somebody's taking the peace, that's for sure. Graham Fletcher. Oh, I just lost you then. Sorry, Graham, I had you there. And then here he is. Great question from Sarah from Runcorn. That's the MP who asked it. On banning the burqa. Too bloody right. It was bold stuff. I love it. Shame it's not reform policy. Graham, good point. I was very sorry to read about Sarah's suspension from reform tomorrow. Well, number one, Graham, she hasn't been suspended. So, yeah, when you talk out of turn, that has happened in the past. I understand where you're coming from. But the truth is this. It isn't reform policy. I'm glad you brought it up because I did write it down on my phone to say that. They made it very clear straight after the questions that it isn't reform policy. Well, Farage, get on with it. I think it used to be UKIP policy, didn't it, at one point? Don't be afraid of these people. These are just the extremists. Most Muslims would go, "Yeah, good on you, no problem at all." This is good. Donations are coming in. It's a super sticker. Mighty Mike 8010 has just donated a £5, but it comes up as $4.99 because it's on Apple, I guess. Thank you very, very much indeed. Much appreciated. Don't forget, if you want to do it, it's a super chat or a super sticker, or you can do it on Buy Me a Beer. Then you get your name on the bottom of the screen that's going now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're listening on a podcast, you'll need to look at the videos. Men have been caught wearing all that burqa garb and a long black dress. So to avoid being identified when committing crimes, of course it needs to be banned. Says God is love, God is right. Okay, I've got to finish in a minute. I'm really sorry. Facial recognition for everyone except for those who wear the burqa, says Robert Anthony Nolan. Exactly. Every time you go in a supermarket, every time you walk down the road, you're getting identified all the time. But not the Burks and the burqa. That ain't right. I think I'm with you. Perhaps Liam was saying he got his cheeseburger from Burger King. Was that his joke? Keep working on it is what I would say. Mind you, the way you're going, you could become a speechwriter for Keir Starmer. God, he needs one. Or for Rachel Reeves. Anyway, try to buy you a coffee. Can't do it. Can you explain, please? Says Maggie Young. Yes, I can. Maggie Young, this is how you do it. If you're looking at the screen at the moment, see at the bottom, it says, please support me here. www.buymeacoffee.com. Buy me a coffee is all one word, .com. And then / Jon Gaunt, JONGAUNT. There's no H in John. And you should know if it's right because my picture comes up. Smiling. I think I'm smiling in the south of France. No, I'm not, but I am smiling. So if you'd like to do that, www.buymeacoffee.com / Jon Gaunt. If you look on my YouTube page, all of the connections are there as well. You can click on those. Okay, right. Thank you, Maggie. Much appreciated. Robbie writes, the guy who keeps letting me down. Phew, what a relief. Forget the coffee. I'll buy you a pint instead tomorrow. No, you're not coming tomorrow. You're going out with your wife, going to a party. You want to take me because I'm an embarrassment, hey? Only because I tried to get a coffee out of all your mates. This is Britain, not the middle fecking East, says this person. Are you Irish? It says Wales for the Welsh, so I doubt it. Dark Angel's picking up on my references. She said, I met Robin Asquith a few times. That's the guy who was married to the person who tickled Keir Starmer's tonsils. Well, did voice work. You do that. It's called, moving the neck muscles. Anyway, he was dating an airport receptionist at the time. A bit of useless information for you all. Thank you, Dark Angel. I love him. I used to love those films as well. They were just harmless fun, weren't they? They were just one step up from a Carry On movie. Can't get offended by that. Nigel Lee, Tyson James, or reposted it. That question probably came from her constituency. Well, that's what she said. That's what she said. Gaunty, it's not the heart you press, you div. It's the $sign on here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you want to, I don't even know where it is because I can't see it because I'm the one doing the show. On YouTube, if you want to donate, there's a $sign. Click on the $sign, which should be just underneath my screen, underneath my double chins. Is that right, Steve? Is that where it is? Click on there and then you can choose how much you'd like to donate. It's all very much appreciated. So I'm going to wrap up now. But before I go, I think it's important, and we'll come back to these things again. Because, as I say, banning the burqa is all about free speech. It's about religious freedom. It's about women's rights. And it's also about what kind of country we want Britain to be in the future. So it isn't just politics, this. It's culture, values, identity, and the country that you want us to be or to become. And living in a time where people are now burning the Quran in the streets, and as a result, we're getting a blasphemy law, I think it's important we address this. By the way, I don't agree with the burning of the mosque. But then again, I don't agree with him getting in trouble with the law for it, especially when the guy who attacked him for burning the Quran had a knife. What happened to him? Did he get done? See, this is where you can talk without talking. I wonder if he got done. I wonder if the grooming gangs are going to be investigated. I wonder if Keir Starmer's got a backbone. This is a new game, isn't it? This is a new game. And Thistle says security risk as well. Thank you for emphasizing that, Thistle. You are correct. Jackie Ward has given me 3 hearts. That's delightful. Thank you. And ban all the far left Free Palestine extremists and their supporters from wearing full face masks to avoid identity recognition. I agree with that completely. They get treated with absolute kid gloves. That's not justifying what's happening in Gaza with Israel or anything like that. I'm just saying if you're demonstrating in this country, it's got to be fair play to all, hasn't it? What do you think? 15 likes. That's very good indeed. Hopefully we'll get more tomorrow. I am back tomorrow at 6:30 if you'd like to join in again. I really enjoyed today. I really, really enjoyed the people that wear them. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so thank you. I'm really enjoying my life at the moment. I'm really enjoying doing these shows. I want to expand them, as you know. I want to have guests, and I'd like to get it to be even more interactive. But you need more people is the answer for that. And the only way that's going to happen is if you start publicising it. Tell people. It was weird. Lisa just came back from the chemist, and she says, have you met the blonde woman in the chemist? I said, yeah, there's 2 women. There's a brown-haired one and a blonde. She said, yeah, she said to me today, she said, are these for the man who I keep seeing on my mobile phone? Lisa didn't know what to say to her. I think she obviously thought maybe I was up to no good. And then she said, I realised she must be one of your viewers or your viewer. I think she said, I think she must be your fan. I've located her. So listen, I'm not going to say where the pharmacy is, but I tell you, it made my day. It was lovely. So thank you very, very much. I don't care where you're watching it, whether you're watching it on telly, on a mobile, wherever, right? I have got an interesting story, which I've got to get permission from the guy who gave me it yesterday to tell you. I know something about the man who burnt the Quran, which none of the papers know, which none of them have written about, which I think is very interesting. But that's maybe for tomorrow, or it might be Monday. So tune in again tomorrow. Right, that's me done. Thanks very much. Thanks for all your contributions, both verbally, things you've said, and your cash. And please keep pressing the like button. And don't forget, if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug, and don't forget to tell them you love them. See ya.